The following presentation is brought to you through the paid memberships of NotaryStars.com, the only notary training platform and resource library with over 150 hours of training on every loan product under the sun. Together with our sister website, OnlineNotariesPublic.com, which focuses on notaries who are pioneering in remote online notary, we strive to give you a safe place to ask questions, get answers, gain confidence in your notary career, and achieve success without overfabricating the truths about our industry. If you would like to support us, please consider liking this video, subscribing to our channel, sharing this video with a colleague, or becoming a member and trusting us to help you achieve the level of success you desire.
Well, hey there, friends. You have officially landed at Monday General Mentorship. All of the gangs here, most of us, we've got Manuel. Hello, Manuel, Amy, Kirsten, and our fearless leader, Mr. Mickle. My name is Beth Hathoot, and we're absolutely thrilled you decided to join us tonight. We are totally dedicated to supporting you and your notary journey and business growth. That's why we put in these Monday nights, all for you. If you're a member of the training website, we have a different class every day of the week on amazing topics to help you hone your notary and business skills. Check out the chat for details, as Kirsten will be posting information for you throughout the evening. As we get started here, you can raise your virtual hand at any time to ask a question, share an experience, and don't be shy. Don't forget our trusty jot form. If you have a notary nugget of a question that pops into your head anytime during the week, just drop it on that jot form, and we'll do our best to tackle it during the next MGM session. We'll post the link for you here tonight in the chat as well, but it's all over our Facebook group for sure. Mr. Mickle, we are ready for you to start this party.
Well, I don't have any announcements this week, except for if you're on the email list, make sure you read the bottom of the email list. We have 3 niche sites, which have pretty much guaranteed anybody who lists on there. If you service hospitals, you're pretty much guaranteed a first page listing within a few days for your hospital notary services of the hospital of your choice. Jail notary services, that's also on sale. And find an apostilleagent.com will be on sale. Kirsten, can you post those into the chat? She's going to post those now. Those are currently 50% off each listing, and those are annual listings at a very, very low cost. If you were at my seminar this week, I put my money where my mouth is. You can go through and take a look at anybody's listing and Google the name of the hospital or the jail and the word notary, and it does come up first. So those are all on sale with no coupon code needed. I don't know how long those will be on sale, but I do want to fill up those directories. So if you are servicing hospitals, jails, or doing apostilles, those are really great websites to list on and very low cost for your marketing dollars. Other than that, Miss Beth, I'm ready to start taking some questions. I see we already got one hand up to start the night off.
We do. Let's go ahead and start with Miss Nancy Fauché. Whoops. There you go.
Yeah. Hi, good evening. I just have a quick question. I was on listening to another Zoom meeting about notary training where somebody asked about the Alonge and to the note and what is that? And she responded with, it's doesn't get signed. It's a generic form that gets put in there to be able to add addendums later, and it just gets spit out into the package. Is that true?
I'm going to take this one, Mr. Ronnie, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Yeah. Not 100% true, but listen, if you just generically Google Alonge, you're going to come up with the wrong answer, particularly if you're looking at that AI summary. Because we're talking about the Alonge to the note in real estate and not bills of exchange. That's what's going to come up first if you just Google this. So make sure, and this is true with anything that you just try to Google, guys, make sure you're talking about the same context in which you're operating in. In this case, it's real estate, okay? Bills of exchange are kind of like loans, but they don't involve any interest payments. So making them essentially post-dated checks. That's what's going to come up if you Google this. And I think that's what the person was referring to. But in real estate, the allonge to the note is different. Allonge means to move laterally or to move without change. When we, as loan signing agents, see this in a loan file, there's a specific reason for it being there. It's not just randomly spit out in packages, right? It's there because the lender intends to move the loan to a servicer or sell the loan within 120 days of the close of escrow. That also means that you'll see another document in the file, and that's going to let the borrower know who the loan is moving to. So sometimes their very first payment will be going to that new lender or servicer. And when we see that allonge in the file, that's when our antenna should go up and tell us to look for that other document. And it might just be something that's on the first payment letter that says, hey, your payment does not go to the lender you applied for the loan with. It goes to somebody else. So she's correct when she says it doesn't need to be signed by the borrower, and it's a page turner, but we need to pay attention to it because it gives us a clue that we need to address where their payment goes later on. We did a training on this. It's a video. It's an older video, 2022, I think, but it hasn't changed at all. The form looks basically the same. And Kirsten's going to post that video in the chat. If you're a member of Notary Stars, you have access to that. And it's just a quick 10-minute video. It shows you the form. We don't sign it, but we need to pay attention to it because now we need to point out to the borrower that their payment's going someplace else very soon. Hopefully that clears that up for you.
Yeah, it does. Thank you. And if we don't see something in the package saying, letting them know that their payment's going somewhere else, is there anything else we need to do?
No, not a thing.
Okay.
Yeah. It's, most of their, we know that a lender can sell a loan at any time during that 30-year or 15-year term, whatever their term is. They can choose to sell the loan at any time. But when we do see an allonge in the file, that's when we've got to start looking for a document that says, hey, we're moving your loan or we're not going to keep it. Or on the first payment letter, it says your payment's going someplace else. That's all you need to do.
Thank you.
You bet.
You're kind of like the human Wikipedia, you know that, Miss Beth? Before we go to the next, I see two hands going up. I just want to make one quick thing that I forgot to announce right at the beginning as well. For anybody that's working with Amrock or now Rocket Close, they are now requiring you to update your errors and emissions insurance or any of your documents 10 days before, or they will deactivate you. This recently happened to me because I was going through my errors and emissions update for the year. Mine rolls over on the 8th of every year, and they deactivated me 10 days before. Now, for all of you that are doing remote online notary through Amrock, I have to tell you, I've been telling Beth that when I turned it back on, I was like, wow, it's definitely coming back. And she said, Quicken Loans is a good indicator of where we are because they do a lot of refinances. So if you are on with Amrock and you are on doing remote online notarization with them, make sure that if your errors and emissions insurance is coming up, that you don't have this delay by not updating your credentials. You can go ahead and ask your servicer. For instance, my servicer was able to give me a copy of what my insurance is going to be. I think it was 15 days prior so that I could start giving it to the companies that I needed to update it with. They'll give you the new cover sheet. You just have to make sure you make the payment in order to make sure that it goes active, but they'll go ahead and give you a new cover sheet. So I was able to turn it back on, but I think I was deactivated like 8 or 9 days. But the reason that it's the most important is it looks like they're picking up. I'm unfortunately too busy to take their orders, but for some of you that are looking, I mean, I'm usually too deep all day long, Monday through Friday right now, with seeing their little app go off in just my area. So make sure if you have your errors and emissions insurance coming up that you get that updated with them.
Good advice. Another hand up in the audience. Let's go ahead and get these birds flying here. Miss Melissa, do you want to unmute and ask your question?
Yes, hi everyone. Um, Powers of attorneys. When someone makes a new one, it voids the old one, right? But then how does it get changed? Like if it's in a trust or something, does that is that something different?
Different how?
Well, like they want to make a new power of attorney, but then they have a trust that has a power of attorney in there. Would that just void that power of attorney in the trust?
Yeah, you just simply replace the paper for sure.
Okay, thank
So
you.
they're not recorded unless they do a courtesy recording. Now, I know in Arizona we can record powers of attorney, durable powers of attorney. We can record in Arizona. Some state or county offices don't allow you to record anything like that. Sometimes there are online repositories that you can put that, record that in as well, particularly if you're talking about a advanced healthcare directive, right? Those can be parked with those repositories. So if you're recording or depositing with the repository, you need to replace those as well. Does
Miss
that make sense?
I do have a question to chime in on that as well. Is it a notary's place to be able to explain this to a consumer or a client if they brought you a power of attorney and said, "Hey, I have a power of attorney in place. I want to do this one. Will it override the current power of attorney?" Are we allowed to answer that question for them? Because would that be unauthorized practice of law if we actually answer that question and say, yes, this will be replacing the current power of attorney? Because even though we know the answer doesn't mean we should give the answer. Would we be able to tell that to a client?
I would refrain from doing that. And here's the reason why. There's no, again, that's probably UPL because you don't know what the specifics were in the prior power of attorney. It could be listing different things, right? It could be a totally different power of attorney. Not always do the consumer realize that a power of attorney is not just a power of attorney. It could be a specific power of attorney. It could be a durable power of attorney. It could be a medical power of attorney. So I would just not mention that at all.
If they wanted you to come do it, then you would maybe say, well, I would also follow up with your receiving party or your lawyer to find out if this is going to take care of why you need it or what you need it for.
Well, you could do that, sure.
Yeah, I think it would be best if we refrain from answering the question. It's always good to know the answers and what's going to happen. And, sometimes as a signing service that works with the general public as well, I won't let the notary answer the question when they call in with something like that. I will always tell them the reason that I can tell you is I'm not the notary in front of you notarizing the document. So they're restricted on what they can say. I can say this is probably what's going to happen. But I also state I'm also not an attorney, nor am I practicing legal advice. You want to go through the proper channels for your answer. I get really, really nervous on that because, uh, you know what they say, the bigger you go with your company, the harder you're going to fall. So I don't want to get sued.
Yeah, for sure. And some powers of attorney will also have language in it that it supersedes any prior POA. Kind of like a last will will always have that language in it as well.
Ms. Beth, can I add something also to this?
Sure.
And that is also why it's important to have or know attorneys, right, that we trust or that we have worked with. This way, if they have a little question, we can always guide them in the right direction.
You mean referring them to another
Like,
attorney?
yes.
Oh, sure. You bet. You betcha. Mr. Manuel, Mr. Mickle, should we take a question from the jot form and then go back to the hands up?
Yeah, let's try to get them in because we don't want anybody done now. I want to say we're at 15 minutes in already and we've already learned a lot. I do know
Yeah.
at the end of this session, we see hands go up and we have to tell people we're done. So if you guys brought questions tonight, don't be afraid. This is actually a loving place. I was actually told by somebody recently that in a particular Facebook group that they were felt really bad for asking a question, even though they paid money to be a part of the Facebook group, that they were told, we're not here to answer your questions or something like that. And it broke my heart Guys, that's not a place like this here. We're never going to embarrass you for raising your hand or making you feel lesser for asking a question. So if you
Or
have
charge
questions,
you for being a part of a Facebook group. That's kind of
yeah,
crazy.
I know. But sorry, my dogs have decided that it's time to buy. But go ahead and get your hands raised for the rest of the night so that we can make sure that we get you in with your questions. And then let's go to one of the questions from at least from the platform now.
Go ahead, Mr. Manuel. Oh, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
There you go.
All right, thank you. All right, so this question came from Facebook. This is for Mrs. Amy. As an online notary, when a person asks for a certified document, does that mean that notary has to be in a location where the signer and make a copy and notarize that copy and attach the original document?
Thank you. We're all learning sign language there, right? Uh, so to answer that question, I would actually need a little more context because there's not a certified document with Ron. You can do an authentication certificate that just says that when the document's printed, it's the original document that was notarized online. It's basically a copy certification of an electronic file, but there isn't like an actual certification for that process itself. So I'm thinking they're using the wrong words. It could mean that they need an apostille or an authentication, or it could mean that they need the authentication. Anyway, but the idea behind it is if you're doing a document online, the only time that you would have to do something where it's a physical copy, like a copy certification, true copy cert, or copy cert by document custodian, or even if it was like a deed, you would have an authentication certificate. Those would be the times you would have to print something out in order for it to be transmitted to the receiving agency. And each one of those is going to have different circumstances. So without knowing what document it was, what state it was, or even what receiving agency it was, because I've had people want the audit report and they call that the certification of the Ron session. So without knowing the actual context, I'm not able to give a full answer. But you're welcome to email me and we can see about getting that answer if you're on here live tonight or watching the replay.
Awesome. And Amy, there was one thing that you helped me out with over the weekend while you were at the conference. So thank you for taking my call. But there was actually an authentication certificate that Title was looking for. And they wanted to know, should they supply it for the notary? And you had let me know. And by the way, guys, this was the first time I've ever heard of it because they don't require it where I'm at. But some states that will require an authentication certificate for whoever prints the remote online notary. And that's actually going to be when you upload your documents back to the portal, whoever prints those documents is going to fill out that authentication certificate stating that they're the ones who printed the documents from the remote online notary, right, Amy?
That is correct. And if you are doing it for an Ohio based business, that authentication certificate is bound by law that it has to be notarized in person with an ink pen. It cannot be done via remote online notarization.
Thank you.
Good to know. Wow. All righty. One more question from the jot forms, if you will, Mr. Manuel, and then we'll go back to the hands up here.
Yes, the next question came from Monica W. This is for Mrs. Kirsten. I had a signer that wanted to use her first initial and last name only as her signature. She said that was how she always signed her document, her name, and she had done a seller package 2 days prior, and that the notary said it was fine. But the signature lines all had her first name and her last name spelled out. She had very legible handwriting. She finally went along with writing out both her first and last name as her signature. would it have been okay to let her sign with just her first initial and last name? The signing happened on a Saturday evening and was not able to contact the title.
Well, I'm okay, I am unmuted. As we talk about in class and when we're training, we recommend that your signer, explaining to your signer at the beginning that they need to sign as it shows in the signature line or on the signature line, like Monica, like you said that you did. And you can also show them instructions if you actually have it there in the packet. If it says, have the signer sign as it is listed under the signature line. Because that's how title wants them to sign to avoid any possible delays. But you were doing the signing on Sunday. So in the end, we can't force them to sign a certain way. We can only suggest and hope that they comply to prevent any delays. If you do get pushback, you can let title company know the situation and make note of it in your journal. What happened, especially if your signer has a legible, completely legible signature. If they have a scribble dot dash and they say that that's their signature and it says all that information, we love scribble dot dash.
Yeah, that's my favorite kind of signature.
Mine too. Yeah, perfect. All righty. Miss Cheryl, would you like to unmute and ask your question?
Hello, everyone. My question is, from one of the trainings that I watched, it said for a loan signing, it said to leave 2 copies for the signing. And so should you be printing out 3 copies of your loan signing package?
There's only two things that you're going to make multiple copies of: the entire package, unless they tell you not to leave an unsigned copy with your signer. You'll always print 2 copies. You're going to be signing one and leaving an unsigned copy with your borrowers. The only other thing we talk about making copies of or printing multiple copies of, and that's the right to cancel. You're always going to leave 2 copies of the right to cancel with each of your signers and send back one. Or if you've got the one or two weird lenders or title companies that run through unlimited ink that say, hey, have them sign 3 right to cancels and send them all back, you're still going to print extras to leave 2 with them. So which one, Cheryl, are we talking about? We talking about the whole package or the right to cancel?
The whole package.
Yeah, just leave an unsigned copy with them unless your instructions tell you that you don't need to. And then we're going,
Okay.
yay, but oh, that's kind of scary because I want an extra signature page. So I might just print that second package anyway.
This brings up a really great point. Mortgage Connect just put out a mass email. If you weren't aware of it, they said that they're no longer requiring notaries to print a second copy. So that means if you were conducting a refinance, which is primarily Mortgage Connect and Inspire's clients, you would need to print additional right to cancels or right of rescissions out of your package so that you could leave those, because you're going to be sending back the package with the client unless they say take 2 out, send to them, leave 1 for the client. So you got to watch that so that you're leaving the correct amount, since you're not having that second copy to pull from.
Yeah, exactly. Did that answer your question, Cheryl?
Yes, thank you.
Awesome.
Perfect. Layla, I think it's Layla. Is that right? Hi, Layla.
Hey. Thank you for taking my question, and hi, everyone. So my question is, I recently added Ron to my services, and the provider that I had put on my request for the Secretary of State, I had just added one. I wasn't sure if I could add multiple. Am I allowed, now that I can work or as a Ron, can I also add other platform, like use other platforms?
So in
Uh-huh.
Arizona, you do have to disclose to the Secretary of State, and I believe this is for all states. Correct me if I'm wrong, Amy. You have to disclose which platform you're using. If you're updating yours, are you a member of Notary Stars or just joining us in for the evening?
I'm a member, yeah.
Okay, if you reach out to Kirsten, we actually have all of the platforms we think that you will come in contact with in Arizona. And she's got the application written out so that it's easy for you to update. So you can actually copy and paste it into the right sections of the application. So if you reach out to Kirsten, she can get that to you and it'll tell you the ones that I specifically think that you should have, whether you're going to use them or not. Because if you get accepted to Amrock, you'll already have it on there. If you get an order from Unlimited Ink or other signing services, you do want to double check it, but I think I pretty much covered it. So we'll help you guide you with all those that you possibly could come in contact with.
And just to follow up on that, when you go to send your new updates to the Arizona Secretary of State, you want to include the one you already added because it's not an add-on, it's a replacement to your existing list. So if you don't add the one you already put, they'll take it off. Okay.
Great catch there.
Oh, okay.
So a
So-
running total of all the ones that you will be using.
Gotcha. So include the one that they already approved.
Yes.
So can I do that online when I'm applying for the new one or requesting for the new one?
You can go through an updated application, so you don't have to reapply for your commission. You're just gonna go, well, it kind of is like reapplying because you're doing the same exact application.
It's
So
just a different link.
yeah, it's just a
Oh,
different
gotcha.
link you'll
Okay.
go to.
Okay, cool.
It's exactly
Thank
the
you.
same thing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Perfect. I don't know what this is, and I've run across this before and I got it wrong. I'm going to try one more time. Aja Parm. If you want to unmute and ask your question.
There we go.
There you go. You're unmuted. Can't hear you though.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I needed to hit unmute and then hit the microphone as well. So my question is with one of the other loan signing agent YouTube channels, I saw that they're saying that I think it was a title officer or a lender maybe was saying that there's a way notaries can make money with builders, especially like in the new home subdivision communities. And whenever I've gone to market to those entities, I haven't gotten a good response. So what are you guys seeing any of that happening? Like working with notaries, working with those entities?
So there are two ways that you can make money with those arenas. Now, first of all, if it's a home builder, there's a lot of home builders throughout the country, and they're probably going to be using one central title company. Okay. And, what you want to be able to do is get in with the title company that they're using.
Right.
You would need to approach the title company. It wouldn't be the builders. The builders are going to have nothing to do with the notarization process for the new home builds.
Right.
However, if they're building new communities and it's a new community where they have like a centralized local office for all the new residents coming in and it's rentals, I have seen notaries like Nancy Fauché who created like care packages and little videos to go in to like their gift bags and supply little gifts like for the gift bags for new residents. So if you see like a new community go up, it's a great way to get your name into all of those residents. So for instance, literally next door to me, they're going to be building I think it's a 2,500 unit building. And that's something that I would love to put in there when they come in. And that's going to be rentable. So I could get my name in front of 2,500 people. That would be worth it. But when it comes to loans or title and escrow, you're going to have to go and find out who they use as a title company. Great way to do that is find out where the realtor, because a lot of these companies require you to have a realtor come in to even look at the plans on the community and
Right.
get yourself a good realtor friend. Go in like you're going to buy a house, take a look at them and be like, who's the title company that processes these? That'll make a big deal in my choice. Then leave and go
Yeah.
market.
Okay, so that definitely is a good idea, Ronnie. I've marketed to like the sales agent at the the model home.
Yeah.
Is what, like, I just did one today, like literally down the street from my home, on the way home, and she was like, "What's the loan signing agent?" And she said, "Oh, well, our corporate entity will probably take care of that, etc." So I mean, it makes sense to try to figure out who the title company is. But I have seen, like with one last week, I was gonna go market to, that the lender was built into the build with the builder, so it's just a all in one
The
type of
title company
company.
is probably located in the same office then,
Okay.
or very close by. I've seen them where they're literally across the street from each other.
Okay. So you have seen some people getting some traction with that.
I actually have 2 clients that do this. So I went and did exactly what I told you to do, find out who the title company is and go after them.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome so much.
That's really good advice because when I was in title and escrow, we were a builder escrow company. So yeah. All righty. How about a jot form question, Mr. Manuel?
Yes, I'm ready. This question came from Mary Q. Studying this question is for Ronnie. Studying to renew my NNA signing agent certification. Where do you recommend I focus? I am also enrolled in the Notary Stars loan signing agent courses. So, some interesting information I never heard and happy to learn. Thank you.
So, if it's the key to this question here, and I don't see Mary here tonight, but the key to this question is I'm looking to renew my signing agent certification. So that means that you've had to have been around for about 4 years now, or at least a year now. So it depends on which one you're renewing, your entire commission or your certification. If you've been around for a year and you're just learning new things at Notary Stars, I would say, of course, continue to press yourself for knowing more about the loan documents. But at this point, you should start branching out and looking at other areas that you may want to work with, whether that be general notary work, whether that be trust delivery, whether that be permit running. And we started a whole entire section on Notary Stars called Specialty Notary Work, where we take you through a journey of things that you can do. So I would say that at this point, while you're brushing up on your loan signing agent skills, to also start looking at what area you want to move to next. And my preferred method of learning anything or adding anything into my business is to go one at a time, master it, and then move on to another. How do you know when you're a master? When you feel very comfortable with the information.
Yeah, and if she's renewing her NNA signing agent certification, the NNA has study materials. Most of this is ethics questions, not necessarily things that are specific to loan signings at the table. So make sure that you study that signing agent, what's it called? Signing agent SPW, code of conduct. There we go. Okay. One more from the jot for Mr. Manuel, and then we'll go back to hands up.
Another question for Mr. Ronnie. This question came from Chris W. I am an active realtor with the Facebook business page, and I am on LinkedIn. I would like to have my real estate business and my notary business separate on social media. I want to make sure that's possible on these platforms, and any ideas on how to make it work as seamlessly as I can.
Okay, so it is absolutely easy to make these differentiations for yourself, except for LinkedIn is a little bit more convoluted. So you can make different profiles on Instagram, Facebook, and those platforms will allow you to toggle between different pages. Let me tell you, having Notary Stars, Unlimited Ink, Certified Document Translations, Wix Wiz, my business marketing coach, you can get a little confused in yourself when you get too many. So they do make it easy for you to create. So with Facebook, you're just going to create your unique pages for each, and it will have a little button at the top where you can switch between profiles. And then when it comes to, and that goes for most social media. Now, LinkedIn is a little bit different. You can't create, you can create multiple profiles. You're going to want to create pages, okay, for your LinkedIn profile for those businesses and post directly to those. I would say that I'm an exception because everything that I do revolves around the notary world on LinkedIn. I would highly recommend keeping my realtor profile very different from my notary profile. I think it deters business as a realtor when you say I'm a notary and a realtor. And I know that there's a lot of people who do it, and it would seem like it's a wonderful place, but you have to realize how many brand new realtors out there do not want another realtor at their table. And if they find out that you're also a realtor, they're going to complain to title, and then they're going to blacklist you. I say that because I've seen it happen 100 times in the last year, and it's happened even way more than that in the last 5 years at this level. So you want to keep those separations of realtor where people can't really. I like the idea on social media, but on LinkedIn, I would just keep it at my name and my primary. I might not even go into it unless creating completely separate profiles where they couldn't look me up as easily on LinkedIn. It really depends on what your ultimate goal and longevity focus is going to be. But realtors, and I know that we probably have a lot of realtors on here, and our community is a lot different, but there are a lot of newer realtors who are very jealous of another realtor possibly being at the table interacting with their customers. So you want to be very careful about that.
So, Ronnie, there's a comment in the chat from Loretta. It says, from her personal experience, it is her understanding that Facebook won't let you have two separate business pages if you work from home. They require two businesses or two separate addresses and phone numbers. Is that your experience as well?
No, I have multiple from Facebook. You just go in and create a new page for each, create a new page for each business.
Okay, so she might be thinking about a Google business page.
Google Business is completely different. I was able to open up a secondary one for our new company, Certified Document Translation. And the way that I did that was they denied it immediately, said you can't do it because I had the same address. But I explained to them, here's my articles of organization for this new company I formulated, doing something completely different. And here's a bill in that name, and they approved it. So you do have to go through the same process. They will flag you, they will bring it down. But if you provide them the correct documentation, they will let it go up.
Okay, good info. Perfect. All right, let's go back to the gallery here. We have Mr. Eric Hawkins has his hand up. If you'd like to unmute, Eric, and ask your question, we are here for you.
Good evening, everybody. Yeah, I hope everybody is doing well. Just a quick question. Some while ago, I was doing a loan signing and came across a form. I hope that I'm saying this correctly if my memory doesn't fail me. It was a tax conveyance document, and it was indicative or specific to Hawaii, I believe.
Yep.
What is that?
Well, there's almost always some type of property tax conveyance document anytime you're in a buyer-seller package. Or anytime you're changing the ownership of the property. And that could be just a quick claim deed that fixes an error on the name. But a tax conveyance document just transfers the tax documents from the current owner to the new owner. So they're just called something different in every state. So it's kind of hard to keep up with, but it's a preliminary change of ownership in California. It's a property tax affidavit in Arizona. It's a documentary tax stamp in Florida. So, but they all do the same thing.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I see those when I do trust transfer deeds and stuff. So
yeah,
I was just curious. I was like, I just never seen that one before, but I thank you for your insight.
Well, it's Hawaii. We don't get much business from Hawaii here, do we? All righty. Cookie, Miss Cookie, would you like to unmute and ask your question?
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Hello, everyone. This question is for Ronnie. Talking about the Ron, with your new platform that you're launching, would it be a good idea if we register with the state now with that platform so we're ahead, or just wait?
Well, it all depends on how long it takes for your state to register. Behind the scenes for Unlimited Inc., getting those in place to handle business, we've already been having people get approved for the platform. So that's going to be a question that we'll probably be addressing in the next week and a half to 2 weeks. I don't want to say
Okay.
right now, but we will be working with members to, get them the best, setup as possible. So yes and no, but it also depends on how long it takes your state. Like I think in Nevada you sneeze and you got a new platform, whereas in Arizona you have to wait several weeks. I don't know what it's like in Florida, but we will be going as fast as we can to get you guys state approved, and we're getting everything ready behind the scenes for just that, a question like this.
Okay, awesome. And I just wanted to mention something else to you, Ronnie, which is really awesome. I created a document translation page a week ago, and it's already on the first page, and I'm above you, both of yours.
There you go. There you go. And
So
hold on, wait.
I
I
had
still
to
have
share
access to
that.
your site. So where's that delete button? No, I'm just kidding. No,
I
I'm very,
had-
very proud of you.
Yeah.
Listen, you can't win them all.
No.
Case in point, guys, I teach people to surpass. That's my whole goal in life, is to teach you guys to get above, me or any other competitors in your area or any area that you're going after.
And it only took a week. I mean, I created it, I submitted it, and within a week, I looked and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I was gonna text you. I was like, I'm waiting till Monday to tell them. Thanks,
That's right.
Ronnie.
Get the witnesses. Get the witnesses. Actually, this is good. This is good promotion.
46 witnesses here.
This is good promotion for the seminar that I just did. I mean, document translations are a product that notaries can sell nationwide and overseas. So, being able to use your website to be able to generate that revenue. I have 3 of them that came in today, and 50% of those turned to apostille. I have 2 apostilles on the table today. There are some things that go along with them, but 3 total translations. This is hundreds of dollars that would have gone to someone else, and I was able to snag it with my website. If you're able to pull in 3 a day, just to kind of pull the math on this, and I want to encourage you, Cookie, to keep going. My average profit on one single document without any apostille is $45. So if you do 45 out of 25 working days, that's an extra $1,000. But if you're able to pull in 3, that's 3,375. But if you start adding in apostilles, you hit $5,000-$6,000 very easily, very quickly. That's just on one single document. If you're able to do, I've had people put in $1,200 worth of documents at one time.
Mhm.
So, that I'm just talking on one single document. And it's kind of like, the scratch off tickets. One customer could be one document for 5 days, and then you hit one gold mine that's like $1,200
Yeah.
worth of documents. And you're like, whoa, that's great. So you can bring in a lot of additional revenue from doing and that's not just it. So congratulations on that.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to watch that seminar, Kirsten, if you could post the replay to the link. Saturday was a really great day for the seminar, and it'll actually answer a lot of questions about the remote online notary platform that we're opening, and it'll also give you more information about the marketing that we're offering you when it comes to dynamic websites where you can make money locally, nationally, or internationally.
I also wanted to mention just really quick, and I know you guys are busy with hands, is that I have the Wix app, and I could see what pages the customers are on, and they're on my document translation page. So that was really exciting too. So anyways, thanks, Ronnie. You're the best.
And I do have to say something else about this. You know, this is something that is recession proof because people aren't always buying or refinancing or selling their homes. We've seen that the last few years, and we've pivoted to find other things that are valuable for us to do. And but the thing is that people still have to go through immigration. People still have to move for jobs. People still have to get their documents translated. So it's kind of recession proof when it comes to moving around because people are never going to stop moving.
For sure. Mr. Ronnie, we only have about 15 minutes left in our program this evening, but we have a special guest who has joined us. Miss Delora Schneider. I can't see her in the gallery. Can you find her?
I found her, and I'm gonna pin her up and make her a co-host. Let me find how to.
There she is. She's got her hand up for us.
There we go.
Hey, everybody. Thank you again for having me, Ronnie and Beth. I just wanted to pop in and introduce myself to all of you. As small business owners, you might be looking for some new health insurance options. So I am here to help you answer all of those questions and see what's available to you in your state. So feel free to reach out to me anytime, call, email, text. I'm on the Notary Stars website, and I'll leave my website information in the chat for you as well. And just so you know, there are plans made specifically for small business owners and self-employed people. So, you know, something different than what you might think is available might be an option for you. So feel free to reach out anytime. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for popping in. All righty. Info's in the chat, and we're going to move on. Thank you, Delora. Mr. Stephen Jean-Baptiste, would you like to unmute and ask your question?
Hello. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Hi. Everybody else makes fun of my name that way. I was just doing some review of the dynamic pages. I just have a question with the embassy section that you created, Ronnie. Did you geotag the location of the embassy, or did you do it like if the embassy was in Spain, did you put the geotag for Spain, or if it's for Spain in America, did you put it using the American location? Hopefully I'm making sense.
So it's insanely difficult to the way that I did it to geotag in the sense that you're adding a geotag to the page. So I was actually going to reply to your email about that, and I can send you the spreadsheet. I did get it. I was out of the office all day today. I had to go get blood work and my eyes checked and all this stuff. I'm getting glasses, guys.
Oh, no.
In the next couple of weeks, you guys are going to see me with a whole new look. It's going to be glasses because y'all have gotten blurrier and blurrier over the last 5 years. I thought everybody was just getting really good Zoom filters, and turns out I'm losing my eyesight. But look at Kirsten. But I'm going to be answering your email. You can't on a dynamic page geocode that specifically unless you're doing one country. So since they're a mix between all countries on the spreadsheet that I'm going to give you, and it really wouldn't make sense because there's usually only one embassy per country, you know, for the United States. So it really wouldn't make sense to geocode them individually anyway, because then you would just be doing static pages. So you just need to beef up the text on the page, and I'll make sure to email you the correct information along with the dynamic page that I have. Oh, you went on mute there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay, yeah. Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
We have a question on the jot form, Mr. Mickle, and this one is actually for Manuel, who's been so dutiful in reading all of these questions. How about we read this one to him?
You want to read it or you want me to read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, it says, as a signing agent, what recommendations do you have for a newcomer looking to facilitate their first signing? How can I accumulate experience without initial opportunities?
All right, so for this question, what I'm going to say is we need basically three things, right? Education, doing the work, and networking slash marketing. Education is educating yourself on your state laws, getting familiar with documents. For instance, if this person is focusing on loan signing, making sure to review the documents, what's included, how they are executed. Once they obtain the education and they feel comfortable and they feel confident, then I would say market it. Go to events like networking, right? And then eventually just doing the work hands-on.
Yeah, Manuel, this is actually one of those age-old questions that all of us have faced at some point. And I know that we have newer people that come in all the time. I know that we're fighting the grain with multiple different trainers out there, but I have to say that at Notary Stars, I'm so proud that we've been able to film over 35 plus loan products page by page with Beth instructing you exactly where to sign, how to sign, what the document means, what you can and cannot say about it. We teach live, every Wednesday on a particular file. If you are out there and you are lacking the confidence to go to the table, you've got to really buckle down. And, you can do it previously recorded. You can dip into a class with Beth. We're always here for you on that first signing. But if you have been told that you just need to fly by the seat of your pants, it's never going to work out that great for you. The more you earn, the more you learn, the more you will earn. So if you are brand new, that first component there, education, will go really far. And being able to facilitate the conversations with title and escrow will come from knowing about the documents. And for those of us that are bilingual out there, not of us, I'm not bilingual, but for those of you that are bilingual out there, Manuel is almost finished filming the entire canon of knowledge in Espanol, so that you can learn those loan documents in English and in Spanish, so that you can really thrive. So we now are a multicultural organization here, thanks to Mr. Manuel. And we're looking on adding him into live classes as soon as we're finished with these final few files. But I just wanted to point that out as well, because we never know if someone is bilingual when they ask those questions. If you are bilingual, we now have this in English and in Spanish, which goes straight to Mr. Manuel.
For sure. Yep. All righty, Geneva, you have waited so patiently, and we have a few minutes left, so we're going to let you unmute and ask your question.
Okay, my question is for you, Miss Beth. I just received this crazy form, and it's saying, to the notary public, I, the undersigned notary, Charles County, Maryland, da, da, da. And then they're asking you to print your name and sign your name and your expiration date. But then it's asking you for a seal. Do I have to put my seal there? I'm not really notarizing anything.
No, if you're not notarizing anything, if there's not a notarial certificate, they're just asking you for your signature on something, you can go all the way through up to the signature, but you can't stamp it. So we see that a lot on what we generically call title ID documents, where they're asking you for some information, either on the signer or even on yourself, like what's your E&O insurance, or, that sort of thing. They're making a statement that, yeah, I saw the ID, I recorded the ID, and they want you to sign it and then stamp it. No, we don't stamp those. We used to tell you that it's always been unlawful to do so. We used to tell you stamp it and then strike it to void the stamp. But listen, we have progressed so far that my boss, Mr. Mickle, can take his iPhone and lift that strike off of that stamp and use it on something else so quick it'll make your head spin. So we're not going to give anybody that opportunity. We're just going to print unlawful to place my seal here. Does that help?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
You bet.
Also, guys, I gotta chime in on this one, Miss Beth. I know we've only got a few minutes, but I've got to chime in on this. So recently in a Facebook group, a notary had posted a copy of their stamp, and I actually lifted it intentionally. And I contacted the Facebook group owner, and they said we'll have it taken down. I lifted it intentionally to show how easy it would. So I was able to go to signing order, which anybody can truly get access to your profiles, lift their signature off of their W-9, and I have a notarized document that I could use. And I wanted to show how quick and fast that could be done. So I'm going to present it to that person to show that they notarized a document for me, just to show how fast it could be done. Now, I'm not going to do anything shady with it, but I did. You could literally pop it into Canva and remove the background, and it comes out so perfectly. And then you just screenshot the signature and remove any background. Guys, we are in a dangerous, like a 13-year-old can make this happen now. Okay. And I've actually experienced FedEx calling me going, because I was the only notary that they knew, calling me saying, hey, we have someone photocopying a notary stamp onto documents. And I went up there, and unfortunately there's nothing they can do until fraud actually occurs. So the police wouldn't even do anything to the person doing it. We live in the digital age now. That was 10 years ago. Could you imagine what they can do now with Canva? Literally within seconds, they've got your notary stamp and they've got everything. So do not post that online anywhere. You want to be very, very careful with that information.
Yeah, great advice. And Vanessa made a comment in the chat, said, seriously, these are things we as honest people don't think too much about. So just hold everything close to the vest and don't let anybody see your cards. Last question, last hand up in the gallery is Nicola. Hi, Nicola.
Good evening, everyone. It's not I just wanted to show something. I don't know if other people know about this. There's lots of different products that are similar. You can get a card form and you can connect it basically to your website, to Venmo, to your text, everything. It's like a digital card,
I'm
business
going to
card.
pin you up so we can get a closer look if that's okay. There we
It's
go.
called Dot.
Mhm.
And what Dot does, and there's other companies that are like it, you pay a one-time fee. It's super cheap. It's like $30. And basically you tap it on somebody's phone. It gives them all of your information. They can save it. They can connect to your website. They can connect to your Instagram page. If you need them to pay you through Venmo, they can do it that way. You can do your Google reviews. It's really good for marketing when you are meeting other notaries and everything. It's a little thing like this, or you can get like a wallet
Yeah,
size
I've got a
card.
wallet card.
And
Yeah.
it's ingenious, and I just got it on Sunday, and it's amazing. I carry my cards, my business cards with me too, but this makes it super easy. If somebody wants your information, you just tap it to their phone and they've got it. So,
I don't know about y'all, but that sounds like witchcraft to me. I'm just kidding.
well, I am a witch, but that's besides the point.
No, it sounds really cool. Could you email me the link in case somebody asks about it? Because I'm pretty
Absolutely.
sure
There's
I'm
other
gonna let you
companies that
know.
do the same thing, but the one that I happen to have is called Dot Card.
Popple is the other one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll put it up
if you
here.
could, yeah, put it in the chat and also email it to me, or Kirsten lift it from the chat and email it to me so that I can be prepared, because I know that tomorrow that there will be questions. What was that? What was that?
It's called Dot Card. You can buy it on Amazon for $23 right now. You can,
Awesome.
it's like a Fitbit, but for your business.
I'm gonna look it up on Amazon really quick. You said it's
I-
called
I
DOT?
DOT card.
Yeah, I presented that to Mr. Mickle in 2022 and he turned me down as a bad.
Well, here's the thing.
Changed, I'm telling you.
It didn't do what it does now.
Hmm.
Back then, I think it was only for reviews, but I don't think they had payment added onto it. I just put a link in the chat for everybody.
Oh, thank you.
There you
I'm
go.
not,
Perfect.
And
I'm not
I'm
very
just going to be honest,
tech-savvy.
that's an affiliate link. So if you want to learn how to use affiliate links to market your business, come to my.
Well, I'm joining your marketing class, so you know I'm ready to get on that train because I can barely. This is like, light years ahead of my understanding of technology, but I'm getting there.
That's actually light years above my grade of technology, but websites and everything digital, I got you on that. but I wouldn't know how that they were linking all of those, to be honest. I'm
Yeah,
sure
it's
some sort of gym.
fantastic. Yeah.
All righty, Mr. Mickle, we are at the 6 o'clock hour. Amy has prepared our outro for this evening. Go ahead, Miss Amy.
All right, everyone. So this has been a wonderful night. Thank you all for joining. And I want to say that the best notaries never stop learning, whether you're on your first stamp or your 500th session, there's always something new to master. Keep growing, keep showing up, and keep leveling up, because greatness is notarized one step at a time.
Awesome.
Right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.